Atticus Sappington to kick. They'll try to keep it out of Caden Weegen's hands, but they can't. Weegen from a yard deep. He's already taken one coast to coast this year. He gets out across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Iowa comes out. Kamari Moulton, the tailback, with Mark Gronowski at the controls and the shotgun. And it's Moulton about a yard, and that's it. The Ducks with a shift on defense. And Gronowski fakes it to Weegen, going to throw it back to him. Little bubble screen, that's not going anywhere either, although he did squeak about 3 yards out of it. And it'll bring up third down. The Ducks almost jump off the right side. They get back in time. 4-man rush. Gronowski rolls, throws, incomplete. High snap. He got a hold of it and partially blocked, I think. Goes off the side and out of bounds around the 49-yard line. Dante Moore with Noah Whittington in the backfield. They'll work it from their own 48-yard line on the first snap. And Moore throws to the outside, incomplete, intended for Jeremiah McClellan. 4 receivers set for Moore. And he's going to flare it out. Whittington in and out of his hands, almost picked off on the ricochet back there by TJ Hall. Moore now trying to be heard by his offense, and they relay from one lineman to the other as he drops to throw on third down. Fires in the seam, incomplete. It's time to punt for James Ferguson Reynolds. Try to keep it also away from Caden Weegen. And he will as it goes to the end zone. He'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Here's Gronowski. Got about 5. The pitch to Moulton. Kamari Moulton bangs into his own blockers and gets a first down. That's our first down of the ball game.
Well, that's the matchup that you really want to watch here. When Iowa plays football, these guys up front, they're the veterans. They're the ones that have to handle that defensive line. Good block up front by the great one, Logan Jones. We saw him a couple weeks ago. They run off his blocks. The way he combos, the way he starts to play, one of the best in the country.
Logan 2 weeks ago was the first guy to go and lift Floyd of Rosedale the trophy after the trouncing of the Gophers. He said, yeah, I lifted it up, but I gave it away pretty quick. That thing was heavier than I thought it was. First down at the 31. And it's Moulton again. And a good gain again. Got it out across the 35 to the 36. Second down and 5. Moulton got a nice block.
Nice pursuit.
About 3 yards. The Ducks with 6 up front. Gronowski might have surprised them a little by throwing.
Absolutely.
Reese Dakin, who had to handle the high snap, and this one's worse. This one's going all the way back to the goal line. He's trying to kick it out of bounds, and the flag flies in the end zone.
He tried to snap it with his hand, but he missed it, and then he kicked it. But the safety is probably the best thing that could happen to Iowa on this play.
Yep, it would have been a touchdown.
Illegal kicking. Kicking team number 9. The result of the play is a safety.
So it's what we anticipated. So you can punt or kick off on a free kick. In this case, it's going to be a kick from Drew Stevens. And a one-hopper to Noah Whittington. Whittington trying to get outside. Special teams won't let him. So they'll try to run it, and they do well on this one. Noah Whittington got about 8. Whittington, he's got the first down. Whittington, oof. Big collision right at midfield. They did on the last couple of snaps. Let's see what they do here, and they did it again. And Whittington, the veteran, has a first down. Military Appreciation Day here at Kinnick Stadium. 2-0 Oregon as we approach the midway point of the first quarter. From the 42-yard line, this one's Yair Hill, one of the young backs. Play action. Dante Moore loads, fires. What a strike at the 20-yard line to Gary Bryant. And they're in the red zone at the 18-yard line. 7th play of the drive for Dan Lanning's Oregon offense. Jordan Davison, the tailback, and he's going to be dropped. Well, it's Dante Moore on the keeper, and he's dropped for a loss of a yard.
I think that was Llewellyn again, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Number
it was.
48.
2nd down at 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Maybe a yard, that's about it. Jordan Davison, and he's brought down by Carson Shire. And it's 3rd down. Cooper Perry in the lineup as a wide receiver with Gary Bryant out with that injury. And there's that right tackle thinking about Llewellyn, and he took an extra step.
Absolutely. You get beat across your face.
Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Llewellyn has beat him twice. One time, he threw him away and made the tackle. Then he beats him across his face for a backdoor tackle. And this time, as you said, he's going, I got to get off faster. I got to get off faster.
And what he did was forced a longer 3rd down for his quarterback. They need to get all the way to the 8-yard line for a 1st down.
Yeah, I don't think Parker is going to blitz now because of 3rd and 15. They're going to drop. This guy's going to go to the middle.
Dante Moore fires, end zone, intercepted. Picked off in the end zone by Deshaun Lee. And Phil Parker's defense comes up with the play. They fake it to him on the end around. The lob is no good and incomplete, intended for Moulton. 2nd down at 10 from the 20. Pitch, Kamari Moulton. He's hitting the backfield, but spins his way for 3 or 4. Oregon thinking about a blitz. They're going to bring an extra guy. There goes the run Gary called, and there goes a 1st down. And now the juices maybe will start to flow.
Yeah, listen, I expected that if I was going to win this football game, Gronowski would have to get at least 15 rush attempts in this game. Oregon has not faced a mobile quarterback all year, and I think Gronowski plays the most like Will Howard. And remember the plays that Will Howard made last year for Ohio State with his legs in key spots just like that.
Patterson in at the tailback spot now as Gronowski's under center on 1st down from the 31. And he'll get the carry. Patterson dives forward. Got across the 35, close to the 36. Everybody in tight receiver-wise on the right side of Gronowski. Now it's Weegan on the move, but it's Patterson again. And he's got another 1st down. Thieneman came up and made the stop, but not before he crossed the line. 2 tight end set. He gets the pitch. And right now Iowa is just saying, we're going to follow our O-line because over the years they've had guys like this.
Oh, they collided.
Oh, and Gronowski is going to lose yardage.
I really think this is on the quarterback again. He snapped the ball too early. The motion did not get across. Watch. You have to be patient with the motion. I think he snapped it before he could clear on the play, and watch what happens. He loses his outfit. He has no one to throw the ball to. That was going to go to Weegan. Negative play.
And Tuioti gets the sack.
Yeah, that was just a miss by the quarterback right there. He should have let Weegan get more across the formation.
And this is a play that Iowa's probably not built for. 3rd down at 14. Gronowski has plenty of time. He's running out of it. Tuioti giving chase. Trying to square his body to throw, and it's to the sideline. That is 4th down. So time to punt. And Malik Benson's going to have to be the return guy now.
Well,
because
the first,
Gary Bryant's
first
out.
return guy is going to be the punt catching the snap.
Yeah, that's right. But for the Ducks, it's their backup punt returner. And he's going to call a fair catch and take it around the 17-yard line. And weaving is Whittington. And he got it out to the 24-yard line. And they give it to him again. And he might have backed his way to a 1st down as we played 15. First down, Ducks from the 28. On the ground is Davison. And right now they're just grounding it out here. And now they've got both Hill and Davison, the two freshmen in the backfield, one following the other, and one getting the first down, that being De'Aaron Hill. 2:37 a game coming in to go with 2:47 passing. That's the balance of the Oregon offense. This time, play action. Whoa. And up and over goes Jamari Johnson. So that's the second completion for Dante Moore. Second down at 7 from the 41.
For a while, they were helping out here on the backup tackle to the outside, but this time, no help for Wilson.
Jeremiah McClellan, the wide out to the top of your screen in a depleted wide receiver core. Dante Moore got a wide open guy that time. It is his tight end, Jamari Johnson, again. So with Kenyon Sadiq out, number 9 coming to the forefront. Back to the ground, back to Jordan Davison, and Davison all the way down to the 19-yard line. So they're back in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Again, both tailbacks flanking Dante Moore. And Iowa can't contain down the sideline towards the end zone and in. De'Aaron Hill, touchdown, Oregon. And that's up and good. Sappington to kick off. Let's see if Caden Weegan can get his hands on something, as Iowa needs a spark, and he won't be able to. That one comes out to the 25. Gronowski in the shotgun from the 25. Weegan, the motion man. And they'll just try to pound it with Moulton, and he got 5. Second down at 5 at the 30. All the receivers in tight. They just keep on running it. Moulton's got a first down. Needed 5, and he got about 8. There hasn't been a receiver do anything for Iowa so far today. Now Weegan is in the backfield with Gronowski. He thought about passing it to him, but it's a quarterback keeper for a yard.
Yeah, they spread him out, but I think Tuioti did a good job of not giving up much room, and then spun back as Gronowski kind of slowed down inside.
I don't know if that was just a fake to Weegan or if he actually thought about going out to him.
I think that was run all the way on that one.
Tuioti's had a good first half. Second down and 9 from the 39. Pickup of about 5. It'll bring up third down at 4. As Logan Jones gets over the ball at the 44-yard line. They bring the tight end in on the right side. They run the other way with Gronowski. I think he got it. And they've got fourth down up there, and the Hawkeyes are up there as well. Here we go. Driving. And I can't tell. At the end, he pops out. And now the head linesman has his foot for a first down. Referee signals first down. I quite frankly thought they should have looked at that, but either way, it's a Hawkeye first down. And they'll just keep on grinding. 2 more yards for Xavier Williams to the 50.
Man, this Oregon defense has stood up. They have answered the physical call on defense, standing up to this kind of bully ball that Iowa likes to use. So far, the bully has not been doing anything to this defense.
Second down and 8. Here's a pitch to Weegan, trying to get to the edge. And he did. Did he get the first down? Yes, he did. Nathan McNeil in the backfield for the first time with Gronowski. With Weegan, the motion man. They fake it to him on the end around. Gronowski wants to throw, and he's got a man open, and Gill has got it inside the 5. And there's the pass play for Mark Gronowski.
Yeah, well-designed play by Tim Lester this time. a sneak to the wide receiver, but then he goes sneak and long. This is like you draw it up when you're playing flag football. Come across and then go long. You got it wide open. And Gronowski makes his best play of the day. But give a lot of credit to Tim Lester, the offensive coordinator.
And the longest play of the day, good for 38 yards and a 1st and goal at the 3. Gronowski's going to throw again. Got it out to his tight end. Touchdown, DJ Vaughn. And Drew Stevens in for the point after. Extra point is good. Davison and Whittington back deep for Drew Stevens' kick. And fair catch called for at the goal line by Davison. Noah Whittington, the tailback. They'll fake it to him. Dante Moore comes up firing on the run and throws a strike complete to the 39.
Yeah, late flag there. And wonder if the receiver stepped out. Either that or they're going to call him push off on the play.
Jeremiah McClellan, number 11, made the catch.
Yeah, TJ Hall was in coverage. The flag went out very quickly. Let's see what happens.
Here's a call.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Ineligible downfield. Correction against the offense.
He means the offense.
Ineligible player downfield. Number 74. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, offense number 11. That 15-yard penalty is accepted. Still 1st down.
Pretty close.
Pretty even. One's got a pick, one's got a touchdown. And one's got a 1st and 23 back inside the 14-yard line. So back to the ground. Whittington trying to get him some of that yardage back from the penalty, and he does. Amari Johnson, who had a couple of catches on the last drive, settles in at tight end on the left. They're going to throw it out in the flat to him. Iowa waiting for him this time, though, only about a 4-yard gain. Jeremiah McClellan, Malik Benson, Justice Lowe, Cooper Perry. That puts more pressure on a depleted wide receiver core. And now they're using number 9 more as he trots out Johnson to the top of your screen. Whittington's going that way as well. 3rd down and 12. Dante Moore on an inside screen to Johnson. He's not going to get the 1st down, but he's got another catch. And Wampa brought him down. It's 4th down. Ferguson Reynolds said all week, I just want to keep it out of his hands at all costs. And he does force a fair catch. They got all their timeouts, 3:08 to work with. And trying to bounce it outside and losing a couple of yards on the ground. Pump fake, he wanted to go long. He comes back across the middle. It's Large, the tight end, and he's got a 1st down.
Look what happened on this play. Gronowski had a lot of time because Oregon only rushes 3. They drop this time. Tuioti drops 3-man rush and allows Gronowski to come back to the backside receiver going across the formation.
So Marks completed his last 3. That one was good for 16. He wants more. And he's almost got it. Incomplete. Sam Phillips stretching out for it, looking for a flag.
Yeah, Sam Phillips is saying, I got held on the play.
Jazzy and Patterson now in the backfield with Gronowski on 2nd down and 10. And it's Gronowski following Patterson. Got about 4. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6. Of course, the college football rankings came out, playoff rankings for the first time Tuesday. And that's why we have Iowa, which should have been in the top 25 in the other polls anyway, but they're 20th. Oregon number 9. Playoff implications, Big Ten, conference standings, everything on the line here in the next 32 minutes in this game. 3rd down and 6. Biggest 3rd down of the day for Iowa. And Gronowski goes down, swarmed under, and it's Bryce Betcher. And Betcher's sack forces the punt. Malik Benson caps under this one at the 14-yard line. and tripped up at about the 19. Nice coverage down there by the Hawkeyes punt coverage team. Straight up the middle, big gainer for Whittington.
Yeah, I think right now, if you're going to be Oregon and you get that drive starter like that, a first down run, Oregon says, let's see how much we can do. Nice block inside, Pregnanalola Lalaulu.
And another big run, and Noah Whittington stiff-arming his way all the way down around the 40-yard line.
Hard to believe this guy transferred from Western Kentucky, didn't he? What a good-looking football player he is. Look at that moves, the strength of his legs. Hard to bring him down.
Pickup of 27. It's been the Noah Whittington show so far on this drive. He's got another one. And he bangs his way for 4 or 5 again. Xavier Wampa back in there, made the tackle. There'll be 1 minute to go on the snap in the second quarter. Dante Moore fires right side. And sliding for the catch is Whittington. Can the Hawkeyes defense of Phil Parker get a stop here on 3rd down and 3? Clock still moving down to a half minute. They do go conservative, but giving it to that guy is just a first down machine. But the clock will stop now at 24 seconds. Now the clock runs again. Moore fires.
Timeout now for sure.
And that's Justice Lowe with his first catch of the day. And now Iowa's going to take a timeout. Kennett crowd trying to get loud for their defense. Empty backfield for Dante Moore from the 28-yard line. Here comes a blitz. It's a screen. It's Whittington, and Iowa read it beautifully. And his long this season is 42.
It didn't gain many yards, Ness, but it did center the ball for this kick.
And this one's going to be from 46. In conditions that aren't the greatest for a kicker, a snapper, or a holder. Trying to hit his 9th field goal of the year from 46 yards away. This would be his longest of the season and his wettest of the season. Kick on the way, and it is perfect. Add 3 to the Ducks as we go to intermission. The Ducks get the ball first to start the second half as Drew Stevens has got it teed up for the Hawkeyes. Noah Whittington and Davison are back deep, and they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. Yair Hill, the tailback behind Dante Moore, gets the carry, and Iowa's there to meet him. Loss of a couple. Whittington, number 6, back in at the tailback spot. Saliapaga, the tight end, was in motion. They run that way, and Whittington, who's run hard all day, gets out around the 29-yard line. 3rd down and 6 to open the third quarter. He's got plenty of time to throw, but he had it batted down, and it'll force a punt.
I think it was Max Llewellyn again, number 48.
Caden Weegan way back there on the other end for the Hawkeyes. Again, trying to keep it out of his hands, and they do force the fair catch around the 32-yard line. Longest one was a quarterback draw, wasn't it?
I think it was Weegan on that sweep for 9. The other was for 8.
Moulton. That's a good run, good start to the first possession for the Hawkeyes offense. He's been the top ball carrier for the Hawkeyes, got 6 on the last play. Weegan in motion on 2nd down and 4. They'll toss it to Moulton, trying to cut back, and tripped up about a yard shy. Mixon with the tackle. Let's see if Gronowski will be the ball carrier on 3rd down and a yard. Nope, it's Moulton, and he's got a first down. So it continues to be ground and pound for both teams. from the 44. The pitch to Moulton and the cutback. And again, good positive yardage. About 4 more. Betcher in on the stop along with Mixon. 2nd and 6. And now the run for the quarterback. Gronowski close to the first down, but not quite.
Mark Gronowski, the ball carrier.
Same guy. And maybe same result. We'll wait and see where they spot it.
I feel like I'm watching Army-Navy football right now. They want to make a first down, but not by too much.
We got to wait a month on that, right?
Yeah, they want to control the ball like, hey, if you get like more than a yard past the first down, fall down. We just want to barely get a first down and then do it again and again.
And he barely did. 1st and 10, Iowa. Their opening drive, 3rd quarter. Now they go to an I backfield with a tight end in front. And Gronowski off play action in trouble. Got away at the last second. Got it to Moulton complete. And he had Uiagalelei draped all over him.
He did. Number 10, Uiagalelei, who has not had a big statistical year for them this year. Led the Big Ten in sacks a year ago. Almost had one right here, but just evaded enough to get the ball off.
Had the back of his name on his jersey, but couldn't bring him down. So it's a completed pass, but it's a loss of 1. And maybe 3 on the carry by Xavier Williams that time. Gill and Weegan come out to the left. Jacob Gill in tight on the right. Those are your 3 wideouts. And the tight end in the slot for Gronowski on 3rd down and 8. 4-man rush. Gronowski hesitates, rolls to throw, and they're going to call it a catch. That is a flag down.
They did get holding inside. It looked like that flag in the middle of that pass protection usually indicates a hold. Let's see what happens.
The ruling on the field is a completed catch. Personal foul, illegal hands to the face, defense number 42. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run.
Reese Van Zee is in the lineup as a wide receiver. We haven't called his number yet today. This is going to go back to the ground game, I'm sure. And it is Xavier Williams, but Thieneman brings him down. He might have gotten a yard out of it.
He sure did.
Moulton, they fake the pitch, and it's a jet sweep that goes nowhere. The ball almost came out at the end. Oregon says they have it. Weegan was the ball clear.
I think he was down, though.
I feel the runner was down.
It's called down by the official. Let's see if he was.
He's down right there, but where's the ball? Okay, ball is coming out at about the same time.
I thought where was the ball? I thought his left elbow might have come down first. Hit right on the elbow. It's out. That ball is out. I think that is going to be a fumble on the play, and I think Brandon Finney, number 4, has the hit that causes the fumble. Yes, that is a turnover. That's going to get overturned. Unless we're missing something.
It looked like Weegan was trying to have the ball trapped between his legs. And they're going to review this.
I think Dan wants a timeout to challenge this.
The ruling on the field was that the runner was down prior to the ball coming out and recovered by Oregon. That plays under further review. After review, the runner had fumbled the football, and the ball was recovered by Oregon at the 13-yard line. 1st down and 10, Oregon.
So, biggest turnover of the game so far. First down after the turnover at the 13-yard line for the Ducks offense. This is their 2nd possession of the 3rd quarter. And on the first carries, Jordan Davison for 2 or 3. So after that 3 and out on their first possession, Iowa's had it the rest of the quarter, but they haven't produced any points. second down and 8. And it's a keeper for Dante Moore. Big opening off the left side, and it's a foot race right now. He'll run out of bounds, but he's got the biggest play of the day for the Ducks, and he does it with his legs instead of through the air.
Yeah, you wonder if Dante Moore is playing a little bit nicked, because he really babied that run at the end, didn't he?
Back straight ahead on the ground for about 6 more for Davison. Almost 200 yards rushing today. It's the most allowed by the Hawkeyes, who came in giving up only 84 a game. And there's a couple more that'll put them right about at the 200 mark, at the 4-minute mark. Now it's Noah Whittington behind him on a 3rd down and 2. And look at the bunch set and the bunch of defenders to the top of the screen. Quarterback draw. Wouldn't have thought this, but he's got the first down. Straight run for about a yard by Whittington.
Just remember right now, of course, Oregon wants to score a touchdown, but a field goal makes it an 8-point game.
But first things first, as Gary said, they're looking for more than a field goal.
And in the first quarter, they had a turnover going this direction, remember?
2nd down and 9. They give it on the end around, and nice job by Hill to bounce off a couple of would-be tacklers, but they're going to be about 2 shy. Whoa, stumbling. Dante Moore tripped and tumbled backward. Sappington hit from 46 earlier in the game. This will be a 40-yarder. High snap. They got the hold down, and he got the kick through.
Yeah, good hold for sure that time.
James Ferguson Reynolds, the punter, took that high snap and got it down perfect. And there won't be a shot at this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. Moulton, he bangs his way for 4 more. He's been the workhorse all day long for the Iowa ground game.
Tatum Tuioti is back in the football game, by the way, 44.
That's good to see. Might be the final play of the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 6 for Mark Gronowski. A late blitz coming. He's got time to throw. Goes deep and over everybody's head, but there's a flag flying in as the intended receiver was Reese Vanderzee. And let's see what it's about.
Obadegu, number 7.
Yeah,
Pass interference.
he got the push.
Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty includes an automatic first down.
So first down by penalty. And Iowa will take them any way they can get them right now at the 44-yard line. Weegan in motion. The toss is to Moulton, weaving his way behind his blockers to end the 3rd quarter.
But that Oregon rush defense, nothing has been easy.
Second down and 6 to start the 4th quarter for the Hawkeyes. And it's Gronowski on the quarterback keep, and he blasts his way across that first down marker. That one was about 7 or 8, but it's a first down at the 45 of the Ducks. And now it's Moulton. He barely got a yard out of that. Tuioti in on the stop along with Ashton Porter. Every yard right now is huge. 1 possession game. 2nd down and 9, Iowa. Moulton. He got to the 40. Logan Jones out of Council Bluffs, Iowa. Knew he wanted to be a Hawkeye when he was a little kid. And now he's not a little kid. He's married as well in the offseason. And he's leading that 5-man gang on the front wall. Gronowski's going the wrong way. Got to get rid of it.
I think the coverage downfield, nothing there. In the first half, Iowa was 1 for 6 on third down.
Right now, Drew Stevens out there. They're going to try a long field goal. He's got more 50-yard field goals than anybody in Iowa history. He's their all-time leading scorer. He's going to try one from 58 yards away. His career long, as you saw, is 55. This would be huge. Kick on the way. Has he got enough? Yes, he does. What a huge kick by Drew Stevens. A 58-yarder, and it's 15-10. Drew Stevens, who just hit that big kick. And this one's going to call a fair catch around the 1-yard line. So the last drive, a lot of little things add up. Ducks from their own 25. Noah Whittington sidesteps one tackler, and he's almost got 10 more yards. What a game number 6 has had. Montgomery trying to wrestle him down, and he's not going down.
Jaden Montgomery has taken over that middle linebacker spot when Harrell got hurt, but he owns it now. But watch this. Taking on this running back, you better be ready. Gets hit hard, but he spins forward for an extra yard, 2, 3. What a run.
Not the biggest guy in the world, but playing big here today in Iowa City. 8 more yards on that one. First down with 11.5 to go in the fourth quarter. And now they go to the fresh legs of Hill, and he's got 10. De'Aaron Hill, who had the touchdown run, has a 10-yarder there, and now it's Davison as they keep changing bodies with the same result. Another 11 or 12 yards and a first down. And first down, Ducks. At the Iowa 35. Another run coming to the outside, and 3 or 4 more before Hill's knocked out of bounds.
The whole drive, when Oregon put it all the way down the field, that drive, 10-play drive they had in the first half when they scored, Llewellyn wasn't in. So far in this drive, Llewellyn and 3 starters on the sideline, they just put them all in.
Davison behind Dante Moore in the pistol set, gets the handle, and he falls forward for 3 yards, third down and 3. Iowa's defense trying to get off the field. Dante Moore with a quarterback run, and he's not going to get there. And there's a flag down. We might have a holding as well. Shire might have gotten held in the backfield.
Yeah, I think it was Saliapago, number 83, that's going to get called on the edge.
Holding. Offense, number 83. 10-yard penalty is still third down.
So now let's see if they can get a stop and take advantage of that decision not to make it a fourth down field goal for 45 yards.
Empty backfield, Dante Moore all by his lonesome. That's Whittington in motion. Moore rolling to throw, and does, and it's high, but did he catch it?
He did.
Wow. That's Jeremiah McClellan. I didn't think there was enough room to make a catch.
Oh no, did he catch it? It was, the throw was there. Oh, right through the basket.
Eligible player downfield. Offense number 74. That penalty is declined. It's fourth down.
It is fourth down. It went right through his arms. And our AT&T pylon cam was there to capture it for you.
Oh.
He didn't capture it, though.
My gosh.
Weegan making an adjustment as a punt returner, anticipating where he's going to kick this ball. And I think it was a pretty good anticipation. Yeah, he's got to take the fair catch anyway around the 7-yard line. Jazzy and Patterson in the backfield with Gronowski. And Gronowski will run it himself. Jerry Mixon brought him down as he just crossed the 10-yard line. Kamari Moulton, the tailback. They pitch it to him. Trying to follow his blockers. Got a yard or 2, that's about it.
If you didn't watch the first 3 quarters of the game, every run looked about like that right there.
Yeah. They need to get to the 17 to move the chains. Gronowski pumps once. Now he goes deep down the middle. Man's there! And he's got it to his tight end again, the guy that he threw the touchdown pass to. Vonami, big play, the biggest of the day. Well, answered your question, can they do it without a big pass play? They just did it.
So far, they sure needed it.
Kamari Moulton, right side, again, one of those 2-yarders. 2nd and 8. Gronowski wants to throw again. Maybe. He does late. And this time overshot everybody. Flowers was the closest guy. Xavier Williams in the backfield with Gronowski. Mark looking to throw, fires, and it is caught. It's short of the first down, and it's Jacob Gill. And now it's 4th down and about, what, 3? 3 receivers to Gronowski's right, and now Weegan in motion. They look that way. Throw is complete. And it's Reese Vanderzee for the biggest catch of his day. A touchdown gives them the lead. 4 minutes to play. Toss, Moulton. Kamari Moulton still going. Mixon dragged him down, but not before he got to the 10.
Look what happens. You complete a couple passes, and all of a sudden you can crease a run. Good job inside. Oh, my goodness. Logan Jones again trying to reach, turn back, and makes the block as the center.
It's right at the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal. The winningest coach in Big Ten history looking for one here late against the 9th-ranked team in the country. They'll have to get all of it. The ball right on the 10-yard line. Toss, Kamari Moulton. And he is knocked down, and it's
guess who?
Tuioti.
You bet.
Xavier Williams, the tailback right now for Iowa. Now we got a whistle and timeout. Gronowski under center. Weegan in motion. And now Weegan back the other way. Play action. The throw out to the other tight end, Large. And he's got it to the 3.
Is this not Hawkeye football right here? Tight ends, running quarterbacks, one last drive, a quarterback who's struggling, comes on the drive they need him, and they find the tight end sneak.
Hayden Large with a large play right there to get him down closer.
Tosh Lupoi has to remind his defense, defend the quarterback run.
Xavier Williams, the tailback. Mark Gronowski, the quarterback in the shotgun. It's Gronowski looking for a jump pass. Nobody home. It's 4th down. This might be the ball game right here. Gronowski's got to hurry on the play clock as well. 4th and goal, 3-yard line. Quarterback draw. Gronowski, touchdown, Iowa. Gronowski, the capper from 3 yards out, and now they go for 2.
1-point lead, you have to.
Gronowski across the middle. It's batted down, and it's caught by Moulton. Was he in? Yes.
The receiver came down out of bounds. It's an incomplete 2-point try.
Drew Stevens. Johnson, the tight end, trying to hear the signals. Noah Whittington goes for 4.
Let's also put into this football game who's not out here on this important drive. Kenyon Sadiq, their best receiving tight end. DeCorian Moore. Gary Bryant gets hurt in the first half. 3 of their key receivers, they're going to have to do it without those guys.
Jamari Johnson, the tight end, in the slot to the left's been his main target today. That throw is complete. Completed to Cooper Perry, short of the first down.
And Max Llewellyn has been giving them problems.
3rd down and 2. Noah Whittington And he got what he needed. First down. Under a minute. Empty backfield. Dante Moore on the slant. And that one is complete. Got it to Malik Benson. And clock continues to run. 45 and ticking down. Meanwhile, Atticus Sappington hoping for a field goal chance. Moore throws to the outside. This one's complete to McClellan, and another first down.
They won't use it, I don't think, unless it starts to click and they're not ready. They should have a play ready.
They're at the 49.
They get the timeout for the first down.
Now the clock starts. Less than a half minute. Dante Moore throws. Oh, what a catch and throw to Malik Benson. 24-yard pass play. Trying to get in field goal range, and they're already there. With 23 seconds, 2 timeouts remaining. Dante Moore with some pressure. Back shoulder throws incomplete, and that time Hall broke it up.
Let's see if they continue to blitz.
2nd and 10, Moore in the shotgun. The throw is complete. Brought down short of the first down.
They're
McClellan.
going to burn another timeout.
And they'll take it with 11 seconds remaining.
They can run it here.
Dante Moore's going to throw. And he's going to throw to the end zone. Incomplete. And it's 4th down.
Boy, they were aggressive this whole drive, were they not?
This should be for the ball game. From 39 yards away. Iowa takes the timeout.
Timeout, Oregon.
Sappington's been out there a long time. Ferguson Reynolds to hold, unless we have another timeout. From 39 yards for the win. Up and good. He got it. With 3 seconds left, it looks like Oregon is going to leave Iowa City with a huge victory. And there's the squib. And the ball is out, and the ball game is over. Dante Moore's final drive was one for the books. And that 124-yard pass, you won't see anything prettier.